Welcome to Suzanne's Real Life Real Estate. Uh, as you know, this is a podcast about the community. You may not be buying, you may not be selling, you may not even own a home, but one thing we all have in common is we live in the community. And what this program is about is letting people know the businesses and services that are available in the community and the people who are behind them. And today, I have with me Ken Raymond. Hi, Ken. Good morning.
Suzanne, how you doing?
I am well. Ken is one of my favorite people on planet Earth. And I know you're a very modest person, so I'm sure you're going to be very annoyed, but I do have to go through your resume because it is impressive. Ken is the broker owner of Coldwell Banker Prime Properties, which, by the way, is the largest Coldwell Banker residential and commercial real estate franchise in New York State. He's also the founder and CEO of Prime Companies, which develops land, manages ground-up projects, residential subdivisions, hotels, commercial, luxury apartments, lifestyle retail. You're a graduate of Paul Smith's College. I did not know that.
Yes, I am. Very proud of it. It's the only school I applied to.
Well, hey, you know what? That's all that matters, is they said yes. You currently serve on the board of trustees, and I was very surprised. I mean, you're a busy man, but if I send you a text, you get back to me within a minute. I don't know how you do it because I'm looking at this. You serve on the board of trustees for Siena College. You're an Emeritus Board of Trustees member of Albany Boys Club. President of the Board of Trustees for Catholic Charities, which is why you're here today, which has a strong focus on housing and the reopening of Camp Scully, which is really what we're going to talk about. You're a major contributor of all of these endeavors. You're the founder and former president of Albany County Convention Visitors Bureau. You served on the Board of Trustees for St. Gregory's. Friends in Adoption. You're also active with Coaches versus Cancer and Real Men Wear Pink, which raises money for the cancer research for American Cancer Society. So, wow, that's a full plate. And you still manage to call agents on their birthdays.
Well, that's the best part of my day.
Well, I know you care about your people. You do. You care about your people, and it shows. So Catholic Charities. As I told you when we were preparing for this, I'm a little embarrassed to say I've lived in this community my entire life, 55 years almost. This is the part where you say, wow, you look great, but you'll have other chances. And I always thought it was just about church and I'm a Catholic, but I was so surprised. There's so many facets. I'm looking at this, care coordination services, community maternity services, housing services, disability services, senior and caregiver support, United Tenants of Albany. Talk to me about Catholic Charities. Tell me what is it?
Well, Catholic Charities is separate from the diocese. Mm-hmm. Catholic Charities has been set up to help people. I was asked to participate in about around 2002 or 3. Before I went on the board with them, there was a nun there. Her name was Sister Maureen Joyce. I have her picture in my office. She passed away a few years back, but she had the ability to get people to do something without asking them. She was a remarkable person. And Camp Scully, just one of the areas of Catholic Charities, had been closed because it was not hooked up. It needed to be hooked up to the sewer, and it needed public water as well. She really wanted to get this camp open. The camp started in 1920, and in 1934, a family donated the land that it's presently on. And they moved the camp to that present location on Snyder's Lake. It's off Geyser Road, and it's in Wineskill, and it's right next door to the town beach on Snyder's Lake. And the camp was started by Father Joseph Scully, and he passed away in 1926, 6 years after it was started. And 1945, they named the camp after him. The camp remains for its same purpose. It's to give children of low income families and children in need of a place presently now with both parents working, sometimes the ability to have childcare in the summer without guilt for the parents is to be at a place like Camp Scully, where there's just so many things they can learn and participate in. And so even if a child does not have the money to go to Camp Scully, we'll arrange a scholarship. One of the nice things to me is if you were going away on vacation for yourself and your family, and you think back to other children that are unable to be away for the summer, it's nice to send a $25, $50, $100 check into Catholic Charities for a scholarship for an individual to go to Camp Scully. And we always find a way to finance everybody that's coming and that can't afford to pay. And that's one of the areas that I'm very proud of with the camp. About close to 20 years ago, we started doing the camp over. As I said, the water and sewer was hooked up. And then we started going after some of the buildings. We built a new dining hall. Coldwell Banker and Prime Companies donated that a good part of that dining hall to the camp, and it's a flagship building on the campus right now. We were able to take the old dining hall and convert it to a crafts area for rainy days for the students that don't stay overnight. You'd asked about how many students are there, campers are there per counselor. There's 2 counselors for every 10 overnight campers, and there's 2 counselors for every 12 day student campers. And so the students are pre-K up till about the 10th grade. And
how
then
many children can
over a course of the summer, we're close to 1,000 students, campers.
but per week, how many can be accommodated?
Probably 250 students.
Wow. Okay.
So
It's
one of the is that once they have completed their, say, to the 10th grade, in the 11th grade, they're able to become a junior counselor and work at the camp, either donating their time or getting a small stipend for their efforts at the school. And I think that my grandson was there last year, and he learned a lot. Colin Stewart, who's the director of the camp, took him under his wing. As you know, Tyler has Asperger's. I think the camp helped him a great deal last summer to start to interact with other young people. And, it's quite interesting. When the camper comes to the camp for his first day, one of the first things that happen is they start to use more positive words to describe themselves than others. They learn skills to be able to interact with students in their lives. They develop self-confidence. Many young campers come there with no self-confidence at all. They learn to win with grace, and they learn to lose with dignity. Okay, and there's just so much high-fiving that can go on when you win. Okay, it's another thing is they learn to share a living space together and how to live within a shared space. And they learn conflict resolution. There's always going to be conflict when young people are living together, but with the help of the counselors and the staff, they learn how to resolve that.
What really caught my eye is that they unplug from technology.
Yes, they do.
They're learning how to play and
Yes. Yeah.
how to interact and
Yeah, they really learn to push themselves outside of their comfort zone. That comfort zone is hanging onto their phone. Okay,
yeah.
and they get a great understanding of nature and the environment. Um, uh, you know, they they make friends. They highlight activities that promote that children maybe in the city, for example, just building a fort. Uh, when I was a young boy, that's all I wanted to do is build forts. If you're living in the inner city, there's no trees to climb to build forts in. Every night there's a campfire. My daughter lives not too far from the camp, and they can hear the children singing at the campfire in the subdivision they live in. And there's a dance.
Is this just is this the Tri-County or just Albany County? Who's
It's
eligible to come?
it's for the Diocese of Albany.
Okay,
There's a
so
lot of counties, and whoever is close enough, Rensselaer County, Schenectady, Albany County, that's where most of the campers come from.
not just
Okay,
Albany.
that's correct.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Good. Okay.
Swimming is a big part of the camp. It's on Snyder's Lake. This year, we put a lot of improvements in our beach area. We had some erosion going on, and this summer we put close to $100,000 into the camp with a new road into the camp, and we solved some of the drainage problems we had, and so the campers are going to be quite surprised when they come back this summer. Um, Teaching a student how to swim is very important. They kayak, they have canoes, they learn archery, they learn to fish. There's a drama group and a boat club. And then the older campers, they start to transition into real leadership skills. They learn how to resume building, uh, uh, challenge course activities, team building skills, interviewing techniques. These are things that the following year, they're probably going to be going to McDonald's or someplace getting their first job, knowing how to dress and how to handle the interview and, are very important. I, as a young kid, went to Camp Tekawith. Believe it or not, many of those people there are still my close friends, whether they were counselors or students. We keep running into each other as time goes on. And I learned to become a good swimmer. The camp's name was Tekawith. And it's my hope that every student that camper comes out of Scully is a good swimmer and learns to get along with other people. And God, today, divorce yourself from the telephone and the games and everything else, and learn to do activities outside.
People skills. Yeah, I
Yeah,
went on the website, which is very informative, and I saw that they have some blogs, and one of the blogs, I think there were 35 questions you may be asked on an interview, and just right there, it was just offering life skills.
they learn their appearance going into a skilled interview. They probably should wear a collared shirt and a pants with a belt, maybe leather shoes shined, or at least very clean sneakers when they go in. Um, Learn to look at the person that's interviewing you and not stare down at the floor. Um, Answer questions loud and clearly. And it's amazing, even in our industry today, people come in for an interview and have trouble making eye contact with you when you're talking to them. It's a case of nerves mostly, but it's I reflect back on those skills, and I think our our campers are very fortunate to have them. The meals are provided there. If anybody knows of a salad bar with a sneeze guard on it, we're looking for one right now. The camp uses a lot of fresh vegetables. The kids got into eating salads and making their own salad through the salad bar. There's an ice cream break in the afternoon. Students come with their own money we used to call it a canteen. I don't know what they call it now, but every so often someone will call in, want to buy a large amount of ice cream bars so that the campers have a free ice cream in the afternoon. I remember last year when we didn't have them and dropping everything I had to do here to make sure we got ice cream in that camp in the afternoon. I remember how we looked forward to it as a young boy. And so part of my background and passion for this camp is what I went through as a young camper going to Tekakwitha. That's why I jumped all over it when I got involved. Being president of Catholic Charities is probably one of the greatest honors I've had. You've listed off some of the programs that we have through Coldwell Banker and through prime companies. We're constructing presently 107 or 110 new affordable units. And our company has donated those units to Catholic Charities. And it's located on as you go across the 112th Street Bridge in Cohoes. You'll see two big buildings going up now across the street from the new Cumberland Farms gas station that was constructed there. Along that road, we have other for rent apartments, and we've put a big walking trail in that you can walk right down to Waterford. The buildings that we've donated are state of the art, and they're located. People have a view of the river, and it's located right on the river, so there'll be seating areas. And as a company, we're very proud to donate this. Housing, if you don't have a home, it's very hard for the family unit to exist.
Right. Yeah.
There's no meal time together. There's no place to monitor them doing their homework. There's no place to function as a family. And Catholic Charities, one of their biggest endeavors this year was to come up with 70 units for families. And we've pretty much doubled that. Again, it's due to people like Todd Curley and people in our company that have really taken this initiative to provide the housing. We've raised a lot of money for Catholic Charities. It's a very, very active board. At the same time, there's always committees that people say, geez, I'd like to get involved. Well, to contact Catholic Charities, there are very many parts of the organization, some of them that you've named, that there's always a need for limited time being donated or major time being donated. So it's been a wonderful experience for me. I hope I think I have 2 years that I've served as their president. I hope they keep me on for another 1 or 2 or however long. It's one of the things that I really enjoy. You can see that you're making a difference. One of the interesting things I learned in Catholic Charities is that, and how much there's a nun there. Her name is Sister Betsy. Sister Betsy's been doing food drops all over the Capital District. It's been going on well before Thanksgiving, and they're continuing to go on now due to the virus that we're in where we are, the number of people out of work. There's a great need for food for families. And our company, the Loudonville office of Coldwell Banker, just matched St. Pius Church donated, I think, 16,000 pounds of food. If I'm not mistaken, that was the number. And our company matched that donation. And in addition to it, and they did it by coming up with 17 and a half cents a pound. Okay. For every 17 and a half cents that you donate to the Northeast Food Bank, you can buy a pound of food for a family. You know, I remember as a young boy, and I went to St. Margaret Mary's School, and we used to have a day that we would bring food in for the Little Sisters of the Poor, whether it was a can of soup or whatever our parents gave us to bring in. But, you know, it's cheaper to give 17 cents, 17 and a half cents to the Northeast Food Bank or Catholic Charities. The yield is much better and it's much easier to do.
Mhm.
So if you wrote a check out for $10, it has a serious impact.
Yeah, I think I saw that $1 feeds it or comes out to 4 meals. I mean, a
Right.
dollar. Great. You caught my interest because you know your grandson has Asperger's, as you know, my son has Asperger's. We know what that's like to drop our child off to summer camp and wait in the parking lot to get a call that says you need to come and get him.
Yeah.
So, you know, the fact that a child like that can go to a camp, be accepted, um, be able to be part of a team in a community and learn some skills, that's pretty terrific. It is.
I think by the end of the summer, Tyler was a lot more relaxed speaking to adults, speaking to other, you know, many of these children with Asperger's have zero friends. People don't want to be around them because they're hyper or whatever the case may be. And he learned to socialize with other kids. And
Well, and Ken, you know that it also affects because they don't have any friends. They've missed out on group play. In other words, all the kids are going to grab their baseball bats and baseball gloves and go down to the pocket park and play. Well, a child such as his Tyler or my son didn't have that experience growing up. So as they get older, when people are just playing a game of pickup, they're not going to join in because they didn't learn those skills growing up. So a camp like this is a beautiful thing because they're accepted and they become part of the team
yeah,
and we figure it out. So it's a nice opportunity for kids who didn't have exposure to things like that.
now it is. It definitely is.
And I did talk over you with the food bank, but that's what I do. So getting back to that, and I get what you're saying that, you know, because when I first started with Coldwell Bank or anytime we had a meeting, especially a relocation meeting, we were always, you know, asked to bring a canned good to the meeting. But then somebody needs to gather all of that and physically bring it. Where now with technology, you just click a link and send your donation.
You can go to the food bank and they'll take your credit card over the phone. Okay. It's, you know, the canned goods were so important, but there's also a need for fresh vegetables and, you know, baked goods, bread. And um,
Sure.
so,
Yeah.
you know, I encourage people to give money rather than give anything you want. Okay. And anything you can afford to give. Um, one of the areas that Catholic Charities provides is their soup kitchen, and down serves more than soup. But on Livingston Avenue, there's a Sister Maureen Joyce a center, and every day a hot meal is provided. And there's a staff there and volunteers that prepare for it. I know our office here, one of our guys, Dan Irvin, every single holiday, 4th of July, when the staff is over, Labor Day, every holiday that the staff is off, Dan goes down and takes charge. Okay. Get some volunteers to work with him. And he's a former hotel GM, and he just enjoys it. And uh, uh, I'm just very happy to be able to participate with them. And in the Maureen Joyce Center, there's also a clothing drop, um, especially for little children, the women that work in that area. I go in and they have their little hangers and everything, and the clothes they're hung up according to size and boys and girls, and it's not demoralizing for someone to go in and pick something out. They're just not laying in a bag that you got to pull things out of.
Sure.
It's it's set up like a store, and I'm very proud to see that. And for adults, winter jackets. There's so many different organizations that collect winter jackets and blankets. And every year, our company goes down with Paul Eman for the Addiction Care Center. We go down to lodges and he has a list, and we may need 60 sweatshirts, 60 sweatpants, underwear, socks, gloves, hats. I have a friend of mine, Mike Riley, that for everybody there, he starts collecting winter coats soon as they go on sale in January. And all year long, he's collecting coats. So, you could write to a factory and get them, and then we would have everybody with the same coat on. Mike doesn't let that happen. He makes sure that there's different styles of coats for men and women and sizes. And there's so many wonderful individuals in the area that make that very possible and feasible.
So Ken, if
And
somebody wants to donate, how do they go about that? Who do they contact?
well, they could contact for any of us. They can contact myself, 518-265-4444. Catholic Charities, they can call directly to Catholic Charities. They're on North Main Avenue. The Addiction Care Center is Paul Eman. But Catholic Charities will make sure it gets where it's supposed to get.
Okay, so Catholic Charities is the way to go. Or of course, you can contact me and I'll remind you where you're supposed to go. So this is great. All right. While I have you, real quick, because you've got 35 years in the real estate industry, and I don't know how you look as good as you do, because it is definitely, it'll put some years on your life here. What is going on with the market? I mean, where are all the houses? This is historic low inventory, and it doesn't seem to be getting better. What's going on?
Well, some of the areas of concern, it's so difficult to get a new subdivision approved. It just takes forever. The towns they're not making it difficult. I don't mean to say that, but there's just so many things that have happened. For every document that's in place that has to be approved, it's because somebody down the road years ago did something that they shouldn't have done in developing a piece of property. So the townships have to come up with a way to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, it's
So
like kindergarten. Always fun till somebody loses an eye,
Right.
and then you got to change it for everybody. Yeah.
So what's happened is there's not a lot of new construction going on out there, which meant that people that had a home aren't there selling their home because they don't have any place to go. There's just a shortage of product out there. This has been going on a couple of years. Uh, People in our business can all have stories about how there was multiple offers, 2, 3, 4 offers. A house going on the market for 160 and selling for 190. There's been wars, and I know a couple that said to me a few weeks ago, we decided for a while we're going to stay where we are. They can't go up through the ups and downs again of trying to buy another home. And so, it's people in a neighborhood know when a home's going on the market just when our own office goes and caravans it. They see 5, 6, 8 people walking around the house. They know that it's going to be on the market, and they're picking up the phone and they're calling people they know. It's nothing to have 30 people through an open house on a new listing right now for the first weekend.
I
I,
I put one on, 40 showings,
yeah,
17 offers.
yeah.
17. It Do you see an end in sight?
Not until we get some product on the market, not till there's homes um, our apartment complexes are all running in the high 90s for percentages of occupancy.
Yeah.
Many people that are in apartments, the reason why they're not in a home is maybe they couldn't afford the down payment, a good portion of them. They're saving their money. They want to be in a home eventually. So I see that it's going to be a seller's market for a few years to come, I believe.
Few years. Wow. All right. That's not what I wanted to hear, but because yeah, there's just nothing out there. And you're showing people 10 houses and each house has multiple offers and sometimes you can't even get in. It's brand new on the market. You go to schedule an appointment, it's already a multiple offer.
Yeah.
So be interesting to see when this peaks. So I appreciate you being here. I really do. I know you're busy. And before I let you go, I'm going to ask you one question.
Mhm.
You could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive. Who would it be?
Probably my father.
That's a great answer. Ken, thank you. Anything you want to say before we wrap up?
No, that's about it. I appreciate you taking the time to speak to me, giving me the opportunity to promote the food bank, Catholic Charities, Camp Scully. I thank you.
Thank you for being here. It was a pleasure. Really was.
Bye bye.